The new science to losing 25 to 40 pounds of fat in just 6 weeks and keeping it off. Welcome to all those of you joining us today for this informational educational video. Now today I have 2 outcomes for you on this presentation. Number 1, I want to share with you some powerful new information on permanent fat loss and to invite you to personally work with me in assisting you to attaining lasting fat loss and recovering your health if you're looking for solutions that are permanent. The following short 30-minute webinar can be transformational for you if you're one of the 200 million people in the U.S. that are obese or overweight. Now, right out of the gate, I want you to understand that being overweight is not a cosmetic flaw. It is a real health issue that won't magically go away by itself. Today, you're going to learn how hundreds of people have been able to lose 25 to 40 pounds of fat in 6 weeks and have kept it off using the new science to permanent fat loss. You'll walk away with several simple strategies that can rapidly jumpstart your fat-burning process. Now also, for those of you that stick around until the end of the webinar, you'll get a free copy of my new book, The Metabolism Reset Solution, How to Flip the Switch from Fat Storing to Fat Burning. Now I'm going to say something here that may alarm you. Diets are making you fatter. Yes, you heard me right. Diets are actually making you fatter. You see, 95% of the reason you don't have your ideal weight and better health is your slow, broken metabolism. The good news is your metabolism can be repaired in weeks, not months or years. After working with over 3,000 patients and helping them lose stubborn fat, there aren't too many stories I haven't heard. Most of these people suffered from what I call infobesity. What's infobesity? You're in information overload about nutrition and weight loss. TV ads, you're bombarded with magazine articles. New books are coming out every year telling you how to lose weight. You're confused about what to eat and what not to eat, and that seems to be changing weekly. So who do you believe? You've tried multiple diets that may have worked for a while, but you just gained all the weight back plus more. I think you know what I'm talking about. You hate the way you look in your clothes. You hate the way you look without your clothes. You're tired of shopping in the oversized area of the store, especially in the underwear department, ladies. You're tired of all the medications you're taking because of your weight. Your sex drive is gone or it's very low, and many of you have actually gotten heavier while eating less. I absolutely understand how frustrating that is. And finally, most of you that have been successful losing weight at one time now have put it all back on plus more. So if any of these describe you, this webinar is absolutely for you.
I've lost 36 pounds of fat on Dr. Gibson's program, and my energy is up and I feel great.
Today you're going to discover 3 keys to permanent fat loss that are rarely discussed and are absolutely critical to your long-term health and weight loss success. So when you leave this presentation, I promise you'll absolutely understand why permanent fat loss for you has been so difficult. So we're going to cover 3 different areas. Number 1, weight loss myths. Number 2, inflammation and its role in the relationship to fat. And number 3, sugar burner versus fat burner. So who am I and why should you listen to me? I never planned on becoming the fat loss expert. In fact, after I was awarded a baseball scholarship to play at Brigham Young University, the Philadelphia Phillies started scouting me. I had my heart set on playing Major League Baseball for a living. That was until I ruptured a disc in my lower back, which absolutely prevented me from pursuing that dream. Now, the team doctors urged me to get surgery, but something at age 19 about that recommendation just didn't feel right to me. I sought out chiropractic care instead, and within weeks I was healed. That amazing chiropractic experience changed everything for me. I decided I'd like to help others get similar results without risky surgery. So in 1978, I graduated with my Doctor of Chiropractic degree. Shortly after that, I opened up my private practice in Chico, California, and have served the needs of thousands of patients over the last 4 decades. How did I become known as the fat loss expert? Well, late in my career, I noticed a disturbing trend in the health arena. Countless young people were developing severe hip, back, knee, and ankle problems, often leading to joint replacement. I was both concerned and intrigued, and I began a relentless search for the cause of that epidemic. That's when I learned all the negative repercussions of carrying 25 plus pounds of excess fat. Fat was responsible not only accelerating joint destruction, but was also a huge causative factor in diseases like cancer, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. So startled by these facts, I knew I had to find a sustainable long-term solution to fat loss for my patients centered around scientific principles. That's when the Metabolism Reset Solution was born. Since 2013, I've helped more than 3,000 patients lose stubborn fat permanently. I've been featured on CBS and NBC and served as a keynote speaker for health conventions, Rotary International, and several health clubs. A member of the Foundation for Wellness Professionals, West Coast Anti-Aging Institute, and the International Academy of Nutritional Consultants. I've completed hundreds of hours of clinical research and training focused entirely on weight loss and fat loss. I've also been blessed to study under some of the foremost metabolic experts in the nation. So what I've learned in all my years of helping my clients lose fat is that fat isn't so much about calories in and calories out as it is about your hormones and your metabolism. So I really am passionate about teaching people that there is a huge difference between losing weight and losing fat. Most weight loss programs don't target fat. Your losses, unfortunately, come in the form of water and lean muscle mass. As disturbing as this sounds, the body actually eats itself on these programs as you lose lean muscle mass. That's not good. Plus, to make things worse, your metabolism is really damaged by those type of programs. You've probably seen the results of some of these programs where the person looks very gaunt, has saggy skin, and their complexion looks pale. In contrast, our program targets fat and spares your lean muscle mass. The results are you shrink and tighten, your energy levels skyrocket, and most importantly, you reduce inflammation since fat and inflammation are directly associated. Now, you're going to learn more about that shortly.
I've lost 52 pounds so far, and I'm looking to lose another 50.
Okay, let's talk briefly why diets don't work. Did you know that conventional diets are a complete and utter failure 95.4% of the time? That means that less than 5 people out of every 100 that go on these diets ever lose fat permanently. And the sad thing is these diets usually damage your metabolism and fat-burning hormones and leave you fatigued and hungry all the time. Most diets don't work because they're based around deprivation and willpower. We humans just don't like to be deprived of anything we have access to. Using willpower to stay on a diet is like hanging onto a cliff by your fingers. When you get tired, off you go. So counting calories, starvation diets, eating prepackaged devitalized foods, counting points, or eating 6 meals a day just doesn't work. Forget the fact that they ruin your metabolism. In the long term, they're just not sustainable. Name one person you know who continues on one of these health programs for life. Not likely. The biggest problem with calorie reduction programs is that your hormones are disrupted and your metabolism slows down. This is important because weight gain and weight loss are not driven by calories, but rather by your metabolism. Now, with the never-ending choices of weight loss diets or procedures out there, how does one keep their sanity and know which is best for them? We've got Atkins diet, paleo, Mayo Clinic diet, the Mediterranean. We have Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig Nutrisystems. We have Slim Fast. We have the gastric bypass. We have gym memberships, acupuncture, hypnosis, Overeaters Anonymous, Dr. Ornish diet. We got the Zone diet, South Beach, and that's just to name a few. The secret to getting and maintaining a healthy weight is to first get out of sugar burning and into fat burning. This reboots and balances your metabolism and creates health benefits that are quite remarkable. Most people never experience permanent fat loss, and it's really not their fault. Here's why. They're using the wrong tools, like willpower. Fat loss is about biology, not your psychology. Also, they don't know the real reasons why they gain the weight. They try to go it alone, and the biggest reason is they can't lose. There is no accountability. Let's talk briefly now about what hanging on to fat is costing you. In a very real sense, an overweight body is a diseased and inflamed body. Dr. Mitra Ray, PhD, describes what 25 pounds or more does to your body. She says, it increases cancer by 80%. It increases type 2 diabetes by a remarkable 2,660%. High blood pressure goes up by 260%. Degenerative arthritis by 400%. Gallstone prevalence increases by 270%. And premature death increases by 110%. Now, statistics show that if you're 30 pounds or more overweight, you'll spend an average of $4,500 a year extra in health costs related to that weight. Also, if you have blood sugar problems, you can add another 35% to those costs. Although statistics now show that Americans are living longer, they also show that the last 15 years of most people's lives are medication dependent, low energy, and not enjoying a vibrant health. So how do you want to spend the rest of your life?
I've lost over 55 pounds with Dr. Gibson's program.
I've lost 26 pounds in 6 weeks and I feel amazing. My blood work had improved and I'm no longer considered diabetic.
I feel about 15 years younger and I have much more energy.
Okay, I promised you we would go over the 3 keys to permanent fat loss that most people don't have a clue about. So let's start with number 1, and that is crushing the myths about weight loss. Unfortunately, many of these myths are still being propagated, they're taught, they're written about and spoken about every day and encouraged. So we are going to be the fat myth busters today. Myth number 1, eat less calories and exercise more. It still amazes me how many doctors and fitness centers are still giving their patients and clients this poor advice. Pretty much everyone's tried this to no avail. All that does is increase your appetite and causes fatigue. The second one is eating fat makes you fat. No, eating fat does not make you fat. Eating refined carbohydrates and starches all day make us fat. Long term, the body actually requires smart fats to burn fat. Number 3, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You know, that was never based around science. I believe a cereal or a breakfast company came up with that statement. It's not really backed up by any science that we know about. Did you know that the sweet spot for fat burning is in the morning after you've used up glucose, which is sugar, while you sleep the night before? Now the body's looking for an energy source. It can get it from breakfast or it can feed off your fat reserves. Yes, there's science to back that statement up. So if you want to increase your metabolism by 52%, skip breakfast. You have 100,000 calories in your stored fuel tank. Let's use them. Number 5, eat 6 meals a day to lose weight. Eating 6 meals a day overstresses your pancreas, leading to insulin problems. Plus, there's no way that's ever sustainable for a lifetime. So your pancreas produces your digestive enzymes, and you're now forcing it to go into overtime, producing enzymes to digest those extra meals. Once again, not smart, not healthy, and definitely not sustainable. Key number 2, inflammation, its relationship to fat. Inflammation comes in 2 forms. Most of us have experienced acute inflammation when we stub a toe or sprain an ankle. The area gets red, swollen with fluid, and usually hurts like the dickens. Acute inflammation is good as it serves as part of the healing process. Now, chronic inflammation, on the other hand, is destructive to the body. This would also be known as systemic inflammation. Now, the interesting thing about chronic inflammation is that it's very sticky. It makes fat hang on to you like glue. So the more fat you have, the more inflammation you have. So inflammation enjoys hiding in our fat. So less fat, less inflammation. Dating back to 2004, Time magazine published a cover story called Inflammation, the Secret Killer, calling it a proven link between diabetes, obesity, cancer, heart attack, and most other degenerative diseases. We now know that chronic inflammation kills, and it also makes you fat. Knowing the devastating effects of chronic inflammation on the body, let's look at what causes inflammation. Scientists, doctors, biochemists, and researchers all love looking at blood and other tissues under the microscope. They also study inflammatory blood markers such as C-reactive protein, homocysteine, cortisol, and glucose with blood panels. While many things can cause inflammation, there's no doubt that the number 1 contributing factor is poor diet, with sugar being the main inflammatory trigger. Not far behind sugars, alcohol, processed, chemical-laden foods, artificial sweeteners containing aspartame or sucralose, high fructose corn syrup, and trans fats. If you're consuming these foods on a regular basis, you are definitely inflamed. Inflammation is a deadly internal irritant. Along with eliminating the foods just mentioned, you can know how inflamed you are by a couple ways. First, the easy clinical way is to get a risk assessment from your doctor. For a non-clinical inflammation risk assessment, you can assess yourself to see the symptoms of chronic inflammation if you suffer from any of the following: heart disease, belly fat or love handles, muffin top, immune problems, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high triglycerides, chronic headaches, gout, depression, fibromyalgia, cellulite. These are just a few, including acid reflux also. So if you answered yes to several of these, you're at a high risk of chronic inflammation. The best analogy I ever heard about chronic inflammation's effect on the body came from Harvey J. Cohen of the Center of the Study of Aging at Duke University. He likens chronic inflammation to little waves lapping on the shore. It's a relatively low level of activity that, sustained over time, wears away at the beach and stimulates other bad events. Dr. Mark Hyman, New York Times best-selling author, is quoted as saying, Inflammation leads to every one of the major chronic diseases, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, dementia, and more. It's also by far the major contributor to obesity, so being fat is being inflamed, period. Okay, let's cover the third key to permanent fat loss. Sugar, 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 it's all around us. Technically, we are not overweight, we are over fat. So if you're one of the 200 million people in the U.S. that are 25 pounds or more over fat, it's because you're a sugar burner and not a fat burner. Your problem isn't that you're fat, your problem is that you can't burn fat. Your body's designed to burn fat for energy if your metabolism is healthy. In fact, fat is the body's number one desired energy source. Unfortunately, most people are sugar burners. Why are 65% of us storing fat and not burning fat? We are unknowingly training ourselves to be sugar burners. We are encouraged to eat grains, pasta, dairy, and starches every day. Unfortunately, these foods all convert to sugar in the body. I learned a concept many years ago in postgraduate school which has served thousands of my patients, and it's this. In the absence of sugar, the body has to burn fat for fuel. Now, hopefully, you're asking yourself, is there a way to know if I'm a sugar burner? Yes, there is. Ask yourself some of these following questions. Are you 20 pounds or more over fat? Do you have belly fat or a muffin top? Are you hungry first thing in the morning? Do you need coffee, caffeine to get going in the morning? Do you usually drink more than 1 cup of coffee or cola a day? Is your weight hard to maintain? Can you easily go 3 to 4 hours without getting hungry? Must you have a snack before going to bed? Do you feel weak or dizzy if you wait more than 3 or 4 hours to eat? Do you crave sweets or caffeine between meals? Or do you often get shaky when you're hungry? Are you tired or drowsy in the afternoon? Answering several yeses gives you a strong indication that you're a sugar burner and not a fat burner. Now here's the good news. You can easily train your body to run primarily on fat. In fact, your body loves to feast on fat, and you'll love the results once you convert. Here's what happens when your body gets out of sugar burning and into fat burning. Your energy level rises dramatically, you shrink and reshape as your skin tightens naturally, and your inflammation rates go drastically down. Research has now proven that moving from a sugar burner to a fat burner metabolism greatly reduces the risk of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, cancer, chronic fatigue, depression, anxiety, and brain fog. So let's recap what we've just learned. So far, we've learned that there are a lot of myths still circulating about weight loss, like breakfast is the most important meal of the day, to lose weight, eat less calories, and exercise more, and that eating fat makes you fat. And of course, the worst advice, and my favorite, eat 6 meals a day. We've also learned that inflammation and fat have a direct relationship. If you're inflamed and have a lot of toxins, you're over fat. And if you're over fat, you're over inflamed. Once again, it's almost impossible to lose your stubborn fat while staying in a state of systemic inflammation. The third key, and probably the most important, is are you a sugar burner or a fat burner? If you're hanging on to body fat, you're in a state of sugar burning, not fat burning. The body's designed to burn fat for fuel, but until you get your damaged metabolism fixed, you'll never lose weight and keep it off permanently. Just in case you haven't taken complete notes during this webinar, all this information is in my free book that you'll be able to get at the end of the webinar. And you'll also be able to download it off my website at www.thefatlossexpert.com. So what's the solution and where do we go from here? You can start using some of these fat-burning concepts and move slowly ahead, or you can put your fat burning on a fast track and get professional support and accountability. From a doctor that's helped over 3,000 patients end their struggle with fat loss and multiple health challenges, on your own or experience rapid results with a proven system for lasting fat loss. Now, as a doctor, I couldn't be any more proud of the results we're seeing with our patients. So if you're serious about losing fat and regaining health and vitality, there'll never be a more perfect time to get started.
I lost 32 pounds in 60 days and I dropped 6 dress sizes. I feel better than I've ever felt in my life.
To date, I've lost just over 100 pounds from where I started. I feel fantastic.
So who's this program not for? This program is not for anyone looking for a low-level, temporary, quick fix or Band-Aid weight loss program, anyone who's not willing to invest in their health and well-being, anyone who's not committed to living a healthier life, anyone who has a tendency to whine, complain, or not follow through, anyone who is not teachable. Now, on the other hand, you're the perfect person for this program If you're someone looking for a high-level health transformation program, you're someone who understands the value of investing in yourself, you're someone who wants to experience healthy, fast, sustainable fat loss, someone who's tired of going it alone with no supervision and little or no results, someone who's tired of counting calories, prepackaged foods, or starvation diets, someone who's lost weight only to regain it back plus more, anyone who is teachable and wants to learn how to keep the weight off for good, anyone who desires to get off their meds with the blessing of their doctor, and basically anyone who is desiring more vitality, mobility, and overall health. By now, you're probably asking yourself, so how does your program work? Can I do it? First, my program is not a quick fix Band-Aid approach only to have you put the weight back on. It is not designed around prepackaged, nutrient-deficient, chemical-containing foods, diet pills, or harmful drugs. It's not based around any 500-calorie starvation plan. It doesn't include hours of weekly exercise. There's no multi-level products in here. It is not supervised by lay people with little or no nutrition training. Now, what my program is and why it is unique. It's a simple-to-follow 6-week doctor-supervised program that resets your broken, slow metabolism. It's fast yet safe. There's no drugs or harmful chemicals. You lose fat in inches, not just weight. 35 pounds of fat lost in 6 weeks is very common. You learn when to eat, the little-known science behind meal spacing, so that your fat-burning hormones work for you, not against you. You learn what to eat. You'll be eating real food that triggers your fat-burning hormones. You'll be able to eat right out of the grocery store for a lifetime. You'll learn how much to eat, a very simple concept that takes all the guesswork out of how much do I eat. Now, there's no devitalized, prepackaged, nutrient-deficient foods. Weekly visits can be done over the telephone or face-to-face, as we get the same results either way. You'll be taking nutraceuticals. What that means is they're pharmaceutical-grade nutrition products which will rapidly get you out of sugar burning and in fat burning, while also eating food right out of the grocery store. It requires no heavy exercise or sweating. We do pre- and post-blood work which documents sharp decreases in your inflammation markers, which your doctors love to see. We have no products that you have to stay on after the program's completed. The biggest benefit is we will teach you how not to put the weight back on without suffering deprivation or not being able to enjoy many of your favorite foods moving forward. So to recap, it's a 6-week doctor-supervised program. Visits can be in office or they can be over the telephone, as we work with many people out of the state. You're eating real food right out of the grocery store. No heavy or bone-jarring exercises, no drugs or harmful chemicals. Simple, easy-to-use eating guide. You have a fat loss measuring tape, you have a fat burning guide, you have a fat burning tracking sheet, and you absolutely have the new science fat loss education materials. There's unlimited access for email, phone, or text. You will be getting the exact tools and strategies you'll need to finally break free from all those metabolism-damaging, calorie-based starvation programs. Best of all, you get personal doctor supervision. Once again, our average patient will lose 25 to 30 pounds in 6 weeks. That's women. Men, 30 to 40 pounds in 6 to 8 weeks, and they keep it off. So right now, you're just 6 weeks away from experiencing what over 3,000 other patients have experienced, healthy fat loss and greater health and vitality. Imagine walking into your next high school reunion or family reunion looking your best and feeling even better. Imagine being able to toss out all your meds. Imagine getting back into clothes you love that you have not been able to wear in years. Imagine not having to see the doctor every 3 months. Imagine having increased energy levels that you have not experienced in years. So what's the cost of this life-changing program? The normal health investment for this proven program is $29.95. But since you've taken time to educate yourself on this webinar today, you get a one-time quick action savings of $500. So your total for the whole program is just $24.97. If you have a health savings account or a flex plan, our services are covered under those plans. If you don't have or qualify for any of those plans through your employment, we have multiple payment options. I'm often asked, do you have a guarantee? Absolutely. I guarantee that if you keep doing what you're doing now, you'll continue to get the poor results you're getting now. That's my guarantee. Now, with that said, I also guarantee that my program works. But if you're looking for an out before you begin, we're probably not a good fit, because that's really not the energy that will serve you or us. It's all good either way. Let's just be clear that you should either commit to this with the attitude that this is going to work for you fully and completely like it has for over 3,000 other patients, or if you decide it's not right for you at this time, if it's not a good fit, that's totally okay. But I can assure you this, people who are looking for a reason for something not to work usually find it. So, what's your health worth? If all this program did for you was help you lose a minimum of 25 pounds of unhealthy fat in 6 to 8 weeks without killing you at the gym, would it be worth it to you? If all this program did was help you get off your meds, would that be worth it to you? If all this program did was greatly reduce your inflammation levels in your body, would that be worth it? If all this program did for you was improve your overall health and enable you to once again get involved in activities you love, what would that be worth to you? I'm 100% confident that I can help you solve your weight, inflammation, and health issues, as my program is a high-level results-producing program. All you need to work with me is what I describe as the 3 C's. You have to be coachable, you have to get out of your comfort zone, and you have to be committed to 6 weeks. That's it. I invite you to fill out your acceptance application form today to see if you're a good fit for our program. Well, that's it. We're going to wrap up today, and I appreciate your time and listening to our informational webinar.
I've lost 41 pounds in 6 weeks. It was actually easier than I thought, and I plan on losing another 13 pounds.
Hi, I'm Dr. Terry Gibson at thefatlossexpert.com. You've seen our TV commercials about losing up to 30 pounds in 6 weeks. Over the last year, hundreds of our patients have enjoyed similar results.
Because of the fat loss, my doctor's been able to reduce my blood pressure in half, and my energy level has went off the chart.